All right, everyone, welcome back. We're diving headfirst into this Chelsea shocker. I mean, wow, this new signing has really thrown the football world for a loop.
It's pretty wild, yeah.
To get a sense of just how big of a deal this is. We always go straight to the source, right? And well, let's just say the sports media is buzzing, especially that snippet we saw from pasted text.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Nobody saw this coming, at all. So today, we're going to try to unpack all of this, the excitement, all the controversy, and try to figure out if this move is pure genius or a massive gamble for Chelsea. What do you think? Pretty crazy, right?
Well, the source material mentioned how the Sky Sports pundits were just speechless after the announcement. And to be honest, that says a lot. You've got these commentators who've seen it all, right? Decades of transfers, surprises, flops, the whole 9 yards. And they're speechless.
Yeah, speechless.
That means something big is up. I mean, think about it. To make those guys speechless, this signing has to be either completely out of left field or just massively significant. You with me?
Makes sense.
So is it about the player's talent? Is it the transfer fee? Or is there something else, something deeper going on here?
Well, that's what we're here to figure out. And the source material did mention wild reactions and some really heated debates.
Yeah.
So clearly people are fired up about this one. So tell me, what are people actually saying? What makes this move so controversial?
Okay, well, first, you got to remember, there are always going to be two sides to every story, especially in football.
Always.
So on one hand, you have those who think Chelsea have pulled off a masterstroke. They see this new player as a potential game changer, someone who can completely transform the team's fortunes. Think back to when insert example of a successful controversial signing joined insert team name. Back then, everyone thought it was a crazy move. Nobody could believe it. But look how that turned out. It completely revitalized the team, and they went on to achieve great things. And some people believe this new Chelsea signing could have the same impact. They think this is the guy who can shake things up and bring that missing spark.
The source didn't actually give specifics about the player or, the actual transfer fee. But it did mention how Chelsea's been struggling to find a consistent goal scorer.
Right. So let's just say, for argument's sake, that this new signing is a striker, which has been a weak point for Chelsea for a while now. Then yeah, you can definitely see why the fans are excited, why they're getting their hopes up. This could be the missing piece of the puzzle, that clinical finisher they've been desperately searching for. But hold on, because remember, the source also brought up concerns about his disciplinary record. So there's definitely another side to this story, a less optimistic one.
That makes me think about player name, who came with a similar massive price tag and, kind of flopped. Could this be another one of those situations?
Yeah.
And now that you mention it, the source did express concerns about the transfer fee being a bit, inflated.
Yeah, that's a valid point for sure. I mean, when a club shells out a huge transfer fee, it puts a ton of pressure on the player to perform, right? Immediately.
Huge pressure.
And if he doesn't live up to those sky-high expectations, it could be a financial disaster for Chelsea, a real drain on their resources. And then there's the whole team dynamic to consider. How will this new guy fit in with the existing squad? Will he disrupt the balance they've already built? Could it even lead to, internal conflicts or a dip in overall team performance?
Lots to think about. So let's circle back to that central question from the source material. Will this signing change everything for Chelsea? Or is it ultimately a risky gamble? What do you think?
Honestly, it's still too early to say for sure. We've looked at the initial reactions, the excitement, the skepticism. We've talked about some historical parallels, and we've weighed the potential risks. Now, to really try to figure this out, we need to take all of that and put it together. We need to think about what this signing could actually mean for Chelsea's long-term ambitions. To predict the long-term impact, we need to consider everything. The player's actual position on the field, how he fits into the manager's tactical vision, Chelsea's current standing in the league, and even look back at history to see how similar signings panned out.
Well, it's going to be super interesting to see how it all plays out, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. And as this story unfolds, keep those key factors we talked about in mind. Remember, this deep dive is just the starting point. We've given you the tools to critically evaluate the developments as they happen and then form your own conclusions.
Couldn't have said it better myself. But before we wrap things up completely, I have one final thought-provoking question I want to throw out there.
Hit me.
What does this signing, this whole saga, really reveal about Chelsea's ambition, their vision for the future, and how might this move ripple through the Premier League, as a whole? It's kind of making waves already, wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Okay, so think about this. If this signing works out, if it turns out to be a stroke of genius, it could signal a huge shift in transfer strategy for the entire Premier League. Clubs might be more willing to take risks on unconventional players, players with baggage, players that other teams have written off. That's something you'll want to keep an eye on. See if this becomes a trend, see if other teams follow Chelsea's lead. It could change the landscape of the Premier League as we know it.
Wow, that's a great point. Thanks for that.
Of course, always happy to dive deep.
And to everyone listening, stay tuned. This story's just getting started.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a wild ride.
Until next time.
See ya!